Hello, this is Eddie Garrido once again here doing a Korg Nautilus, not review, but more like an opinion. This is a great keyboard. It has really nice sounds. One of the things that attracted me to it was the 16-track audio recorder, and I mean, it does work. You can make a song in it, but not without its quirks. I mean, it can be kind of annoying. So for instance, I'm gonna play you just a part of a song, like a thing and a chorus, and then I will show you what I mean. Let me go to a track where it starts. Let's see here.
It's strange how time can pass, go through me and you so fast. And strange how miles stay to grow this built to last.
All right, did you hear that? So I don't know why there's a vocal coming in where I never recorded it. So there's like a bug. Sometimes the audio does whatever it wants with timing. So for instance, the actual thing goes,
that's
where it's gotta come in, the for you. But if you hear over here,
you so fast. And strange how miles stay to grow this built to last.
You see how it triggered it before? I have no idea why. So anyway, I mean, I guess I can come back and edit that. But if I wanted to come back and edit that, I'm gonna have to go through all these pages, go to track edit. So now it's like, hey, where am I in which track is that triggering? So then I would have to once again go back to sequencer, so I can go to the mixer and watch the
and strange how miles stay to grow this built to last.
You see, and it didn't give me any reading. So it's weird. Okay, so that's it just started happening. I worked in this file last night and it was not doing it. So now let's keep going.
Sleepless nights, I'm up so late if you decide to sleep. You ask the cutest questions, not a chance for me to think. Oh no. And it seems like just a dream.
So now I'm gonna bring some background vocals in here.
And you live life knowing that I love you with all my heart, knowing that you fill my life with joy. It's strange how.
All right, so let me give you some opinions here. First of all, when I went to connect my mic, obviously I couldn't use my condenser mic because there's no phantom power and there's no XLR. So I was like, oh, bummer, I would have to use like a Shure or something, which is not necessarily bad, but I really wanted the clarity of my condenser. And I'm like, okay, so what I did, if you allow me to move my phone now, what I did is I went ahead and I plugged in a mic mechanic, took the effects off, and I plugged it into the left of my of the input left, so I could use my condenser mic. All right, so we're good with that, and it worked. At first it gave me some noise and stuff, but once I put a balance input into it, then it was working fine. All right, so another thought on this process is I was able to, let me go back to this part over here.
Knowing that you find
Right here.
Knowing that I love you with all my.
So that's gonna repeat another 8 times through the song, probably, because it's the chorus, right? So, you know, basically what you do in Logic or some other recorder is that you can, once you have a block of voices that you like, you want to grab them, copy them, and paste them to a different section, right? You can do it here, but you have to go, for instance, let's say that my voice, my harmonies are in audio track 3, 4, and 5, okay? So you got to go page, track edit, right? And then over here you have copy measure. And then once you're in copy measure, you say, well, copy, there's no way to copy. I mean, you can copy all audio tracks, but you don't want to do that. So you have to go track by track. So copy track 3 from, measure 24 to measure 25 in your destination track, so you gotta go track 3 from measure 24 to measure 25, let's say, and then in song 20, because the first time you use it, it's gonna revert to song 0 or song 1, so you gotta make sure that you're in the correct song, your destination track, and your destination measure. Now, you have to do that for every track. So, for instance, if you already recorded your lead vocals and you're just going to do the things, then you can't use the all audio tracks, because then you'll copy all audio tracks. And if you have guitars or whatever, then it's going to, then you have to go back and delete. So, so you have to do it track by track. So I want to ask Korg, and help me out if you agree, they should have a way to select multiple tracks and copy multiple tracks so that you can move them around, not just track by track or all tracks. All right. Now you see we have an interface right here that's very cluttered. Obviously these are my MIDI tracks. These are my audio tracks, These are the places where I've copied something, So it's worked out well. I mean, for instance, let's go to measure 43. And let's see what happens here.
And you live life knowing that I love you.
So it worked. It did copy and paste and stuff like that. But like I said, I did it track by track. So for instance, I like to put sometimes big blocks of vocals where there's, 4 of each note. So that would be 12 tracks, or let's say 2 of each note. That would be 6 or 8 in a 4-part harmony. So that I would have to copy that every time, track by track. So that's very, very tedious. But the challenge was is if I could do it in this keyboard, right? I have right next to me my MacBook Pro with Logic, which I could have done it, in less than a minute. It took me half hour here. Now, my second thought on this audio recorder is that we have a tactile screen, kind of like the iPhone and stuff like that. Now, there's no piano roll in the MIDI section. And again, in the audio section, if I wanted to go and edit a sample, something I recorded already, it's extremely hard to do. Let's see, I would have to go track edit again and then look for an audio thing. We have audio event edit, but check it out. It doesn't let you choose your region that you want. You would have to audition all this, guys, to see what's in it, So let's see what's in here. Play. Apparently nothing.
For you.
See, there's that for you. Let's see what's that one.
For you.
So it's just weird. I mean, because this is not like a visual thing. This is just telling me numbers. I'm sure I could figure it out. I mean, this is like measure 8, where I haven't measured 1, measure 38. But you see, it's cumbersome. We have a screen over here. Why not showing us where we are in the track? Not like this, but like more. Something that we could see the waveform and maybe zoom, We can't zoom in here. Anyway, So that's my second problem. Now, my other one was, for instance, if I'm in this screen and I want to mix something, now I have to get out. I have to go back to page. I have to go back to sequencer and to mix. If I want to mute or solo, so I was done with my track and I'm like, oh, cool, you know, I'm done with my track. I want to bounce it. So now to bounce it, I have to, you know, let's go, let me locate. To bounce it, I would have to go to sampling, and then in my sampling mode, I would have to HDR here, and then when you're recording audio tracks, you have to be here on hard disk audio track recording and tell it what outputs and inputs, etc. And then to bounce, you have to go to channel mix, and you say, okay, but now I have to play the entire song real time so that it records it, and then it'll save it. Let me go to mode, and then it'll save it on your track. So for instance, it's right here, right? And I can just go play. Now notice there's no way to locate any part. It wants the waves. Now that I'm here, now I can copy it to a USB. So that's 3 extra steps. Why can't we just say bounce the song and do it in the background? You know, it's like whatever, and give me the option of where to bounce it if I want to bounce it on the USB or whatever. Now, by the way, when I bounced this song, it automatically stopped it by itself before it was even done. So that's another thing that was a little weird. Another, not necessarily complaint, but whatever, there's no pitch correction in your effects. We have tons and tons of effects. Their effects situation is like, look, the internal effects. We have, for MIDI, we have 12 effects, 1 through 12, and we can have any kind of routing. You route your effects here, and then you have your MIDI routing too. And then you have your audio routing. So for instance, I have my audio tracks going through the compressor, through a dry plate and a limiter. Then effects 4, I have it for the MIDI. I had to add a piano. Oh, which brings me to another thing I'll show you in a second. But for instance, I added a small halt for the piano, and I had to edit it. And then let me show you something. Let's say that I want to show you what that reverb sounds like in my piano, right? Instead of just going, my piano's in 15, if I select it here, you think that it would just select, right? Nope. I have to actually go to the MIDI channel. So it's very old school. And I'll show you what it sounds like without the reverb. So I have to go back here, internal effects, and then I go to, so for instance, this is without the reverb. Now I'll put it back with the reverb. So, I mean, can it be done? Yes. Is it a bit frustrating? Yes, because for instance, I don't know where that ghost note came. I'm gonna try to go back to sequencer. When it comes to effects, it has a lot of effects, but it does not have any kind of pitch correction. It would be nice to be able to go back and fix a note if I went flat or whatever. Another thing is the manual says if you want to add automation, it tells you to go to overdub, because it'll record whatever on top of whatever, whether automation only is on or not, right? I tried that because I wanted to re-record some things on track 6. In MIDI, I want to go to audio track 6. All right, it won't do it. If I record any automation on it, sometimes it works, and sometimes it completely erases the audio data that I had, and that becomes very annoying. So what I ended up doing is I had to like either sing softer or louder or and redoing that part, just punching that part, which you end up with a lot of punching in. So what I tried to do over here, I went to the insert effects, and if you see my audio routing, I ended up with the compressor or whatever, and then I had to put a limiter just to kind of like balance my vocal a little more. So can it be done? Yes, it can. Will I do it again? Probably not. It is a nice feature to have, a 16 track audio thing right there. If you play guitar, if you play some other instrument or whatever, singing and background vocals, I don't know. I mean, it takes a little more to edit those vocals than this keyboard is willing to give. Now, we're not in 1984. We're in 2024, so I mean, you think that they would put those features like, number one, some kind of pitch correction, because a lot of people are gonna want to record girls that want that super out of tune and stuff like that. So a pitch correction, I think it's a must for nowadays. Pitch correction with several settings, a pitch correction that you can go back and edit, maybe note by note, so sort of like Ceremony. It'd be nice if you had already an XLR in it with phantom power, an ability to select multiple tracks and edit multiple tracks at the same time, and I guess one of the things that annoys me the most is there is no way to send out stems. So let's say that somebody asks me for the stems for this recording, which by the way, somebody already did. I can't send the stems. I can only bounce, let's see, page sequencer. I can only bounce. You see, bounce all tracks to disk is the same thing as sampling the 2-track. You see, now it'll just send my recording to the thing. There's no stamps. Now, just about any recording app on the iPad or on the iPhone will allow you to automatically send out separate tracks. So I think that's a must that they need to add is a way. First of all, in the background, you shouldn't have to resample your keyboard. You should just say, hey, make this an audio track of my recording in stereo with all my settings, and it should just do it without you having to sit there and listen to the song again. And also send all my separate tracks into audio tracks into a folder, into a stem folder, so I can share. I implore Korg that they do that. Oh, and there's another annoying thing that I found. A lot of times, since you have to be navigating with this, a lot of times you'll find that somehow the song gets picked, or because you gotta pick everything. Here's my volumes, my pan, whatever. And if for some reason this defaults to the song and you move it, you lost your song. Now you're in a different song. So now, just for the sake of it, I want to go back to that part to see if that ghost note still's there. Oh, you see, I'm in song 21. I gotta go back to song 20. All right, so that was a perfect example.
It's strange how that can pass go from me and you so fast. It's strange how mild state growth really built to last.
You see that's
For you.
Now let's see where it's coming from. So I have to go over here and I'm gonna solo.
And strange how mild state growth is really built to last.
All right, so it's not coming from here. See how I went to that 20, to this song again? Maybe it's right here.
For you.
See, isn't that weird? So I'm gonna have to go. Oh, which brings me to another.
Yeah.
All right, so for instance, right here, I have that.
For you.
All right, that's fine. So then the 8.
For.
All right, so I'm gonna go. That's a good example. So right now, what I gotta do is I gotta say erase. audio. I'm gonna have to go page, track it. I'm on audio track 6, and I'm gonna say erase track. No, repeat, insert measure, delete measure, erase measure is right here. Erase measure 8 to end of measure 8. So let me pick this kind. All tracks, all audio tracks. Okay, let's see if that fixed it. Now I have to go back to page, sequencer, and make sure that nothing's okay.
And strange how mild stated growth is really built to last for you.
It's gone. So I fixed it. But you see, I had to do that. And I don't know. I had to do that. And I don't know where that note came from. I mean, I never sang that. Now, another thing is sometimes the timing is weird. You sing at a certain time and then somehow it moves it. There's like a latency or something. And there's no way to shift, and there's no way to just erase or edit between the measures. Or let's say, no way that I can find without having a degree from astrophysics from NASA. You can delete a measure, but you can't delete, like, for instance, a beat of a measure or a 2/4 notes of a measure or whatever. And like I said, there's no piano roll. There's no way of editing the WAV files like one has become used to. And another thing, I mean, for instance, if I wanted to go to I can't set a location. You can put right here set location, and I can say, hey, let's go to 23, enter, right? So now when I press locate, no, okay. And then when I press locate, obviously it went to 23.
Knowing that I love you with all my, knowing that I love you with all my heart.
You see, so over there I'm pitchy, and I know it wasn't like a serious recording or whatever, but I'm not a really good singer. I mean, I'm not a singer at all, but I mean, I can carry a tune, but sometimes I get pitch and stuff like that. So I would benefit for a little mild pitch correction in a recording, but the keyboard lacks it, so unless you're a really, really good singer, then I mean, I don't think I would ever record vocals on this keyboard again. Now, I'm hoping that in an update, and please, if you're interested in this, that I did write Korg for a couple suggestions already, but I mean, if you guys can help me out and write them also. We need pitch correction, a piano roll for editing notes and WAV files, a better interface, something not as cluttered. And for instance, right here they had room to put the mute and solo buttons. I mean, it's every time you want to like solo something or whatever, you have to change, and then if you want to act like that, you have to go to the page and the track it. And like I say, can it be done? Yes. Can one get used to the keyboard? Yes. Is it awesome? Absolutely yes. This keyboard has awesome sounds. With the technology available today, is it up to par with everything else? I don't think so. I think that when they claim, well, I don't know if they claimed it, but I mean, when they say, hey, we put a 16-track recorder in our keyboard and blah blah blah, then I think since we're in 2024, you're expecting certain features for editing. Anyway, those are my 2 cents. I'm sure I'm forgetting something that probably annoys me about the keyboard. but I mean, it can be done. I'm happy with the result. I'm just not happy with the editing situations, and that I can't send them to stamps or whatever. They do have something really nice. Before I go, every time you do a take, it's kind of like a take folder. Let me see if I can find it. I gotta go to sequencer. When you're recording, let's see, I'm gonna go to track 7. When you're recording, there's a place Oh, you see right here in recording setup, you see how it says track 7? There's no take 000, right? But if I go to track 6, see, track 6 takes 7. You know, and you can change you can go and listen to your different takes to see which one you like the best, and then you can use that. That's nice. I mean, it would be nicer if you had a take folder where you can use the best parts of each phrase and then make a, you know, but now I'm asking for a lot, because not a lot of, I mean, Logic has that, and I think Pro Tools has that too now, and I realize I'm asking a lot, but anyway, so I am, without further ado, I'm just gonna play you out. Thank you very much. Hey, listen, I hope this wasn't too boring. For those of you that have Nautilus and were thinking about using it as a complete workstation for recording your audio as well, it will do it. It does do it, but it's like you're working with a tape machine or a sequencer from 1984. So be prepared for that. It will do it. Like if you're stranded on an island with just this keyboard, yes, you can write songs and have them. The effects are amazing. The sound engines are amazing too. And obviously this video is just on the audio recorder. I just wish that the audio recorder was more. It was complete with everything that I've mentioned above. Please subscribe if you know, I have videos on Modi X, videos on Phantom, videos on iPad apps, and of course right now on Nautilus. Go to my website, eddie-g.com, and also, you know, look me up, Eddie Garrido, EDDIE GARRIDO, Eddie Garrido, in Spotify, Apple Music, etc., etc. I have all kinds of music. Let me play you out.